Hey y'all, it's Bear, and it's halfway to Halloween. So I'm not much of a spring person. I've never really been a huge fan of the spring season because in Alabama that means tornado weather. So I've been I've been wanting to do another readathon lately. I've been looking around and nothing has really super caught my interest, but I found about one today called the Halfweenathon. And it is hosted by two booktubers named Sue and Megan over at the channel Spine Breakers. I will leave their announcement video linked downstairs, but basically this is a week-long horror readathon from May 1st to May 7th, and it's just halfway to Halloween, so we're gonna read some spooky books. There are 5 main challenges as well as 2 bonus challenges that don't necessarily have to do with reading. There's also going to be a group book that's going to be announced before the readathon starts. At the time of me filming this, it hasn't been selected yet, but I believe it's between I Know What You Did Last Summer and The Exorcist, so depending on which one wins, we'll see if I join in on that. But they're going to do that, and then a movie watch-along as well, if that's something you're interested in. And the prompts are: read a book and then watch the movie adaptation, read a horror graphic novel, read a book with the words dark or night in the title, read a book set in a haunted house, and read a creature feature. So I have 4 books that I'm tossing around the idea of reading for the readathon, so we'll see what I can get done and see if I decide to switch anything out throughout the month. Let me know if you want a Halfweenathon vlog. But I'm going to show you the 4 books that I'm thinking about reading for this because I think it's really cool and I haven't really seen many people talk about it, and it's something that I'm excited about. So the first book I have is The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. This one is going to fit the haunted house prompt as well as reading a book and watching the film adaptation. It's pretty short. It follows a man in London who is going to this house where this woman has recently died in order to settle all of her affairs. It says that he starts hearing things and seeing things. He hears children screaming in the fog. He sees a woman dressed in all black standing into the hallway, hearing rocking chairs in the nursery. I've seen the movie and I loved the movie so much. The sequel was but the film, The Woman in Black, was fantastic and Daniel Radcliffe was fantastic in it. So I'm excited to read the book and see if I like it more than the film or if I think the film is better. The second book I want to read is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness, and this one is a horror-ish graphic novel, but also could fit the prompt of reading a book and then watching the adaptation, depending on what I'm feeling in the moment. And this is a graphic novel about a young boy whose mother is dying of cancer, and every night he is visited by a monster who tells him stories. I have read this one before. This will be a reread. I didn't have a whole lot of horror graphic novels to choose from. I have not read this one since 2015 because at the time of reading this, my mom was dealing with cancer and it was a lot, so I just never picked it back up. But I think now, 7 years later, I'm good to read it again, so we'll see. Next, we have Velvet is the Night by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. This is one that I am currently about halfway through, so I will just be finishing it for the readathon, and this one obviously fits the prompt of reading a book with the words dark or night in the title. It's a 1970s noir crime sort of situation set in Mexico City. In this one, we have a dual perspective. We have a young girl who's a secretary at this office, and we have a gang member, and it's how their 2 stories get tied up based on this student resistance that's going on in Mexico and then gang violence and stuff like that. And it's pretty fun, and like I said, I'm currently halfway through it, so I will just be continuing this one on probably for the readathon. I also love Sylvia Moreno Garcia's other books that I've read, so I'm excited to go ahead and finish this one so I can add it to the list of favorites by her. And then finally, for the creature feature prompt, we have It Came From Del Rio by Stephen Graham Jones. And this one I was a little iffy on whether I considered it a creature feature or not until I read some of the blurbs on the back. This blurb comes from Craig Clevenger, the author of The Contortionist's Handbook and Dermophobia. Never read either one of them, but the blurb says, "No other writer could have done this, period. Stephen Graham Jones has built a story out of radioactive scrap metal that anyone else would have rendered as kitsch. But with Jones, the diary of a rabbit-headed zombie chupacabra shepherd is absolutely convincing and utterly moving." Is a rabbit-headed zombie chupacabra shepherd creature feature enough? I think so. So I'm excited to read it. I trust Stephen Graham Jones with my life. I would read his grocery list, no problem. Then, like I said earlier, whatever gets picked as the group book, I may or may not read. I do have a copy of I Know What You Did Last Summer, but I did read it recently. And I don't own a copy of The Exorcist. So we'll just have to see what the vibes are, but I do plan on reading these 4 books in the first week of May. Say a little prayer for me. That's all I have for you today. This is just a short video. I thought the readathon sounded cool. Let me know if you're planning to participate. Let me know if you know of any other horror-related readathons going on in the next couple of months, stuff like that. If you enjoyed this video, you can let me know by liking, subscribing, sharing, etc., as well as answering the comment question of the day. Comment question of the day, let me know your favorite horror book to movie adaptation. I find a lot of times with horror, I like them equally, just in different ways, because horror is so visual that I think sometimes the stories actually work better on film. And if you don't have time, you don't have spoons, you don't have an answer, or you don't want to answer, let me know you made it all the way until the end of the video by leaving me an emoji, preferably a smiley face emoticon or a yellow heart. All my social media links, as well as everything and everyone I've mentioned today, will be linked downstairs. Make sure you go check out the Spine Breakers original video, which will be linked downstairs, as well as a list of the prompts if you want to build your own TBR. And there are also places you can support me further if you so choose. And yeah, that's all I have for today. I hope you have a wonderful whatever it is, wherever you are, and I will see you next time with another video. Thank you for watching. Okay, cool. Bye! And none of these books are gonna stack in a way that's appealing for the thumbnail at all, because they never do. Honestly, this is the part of booktubing, like stacking books, and then sometimes I can do like a little, so you don't see what's in the thumbnail. Scooch it back a little bit.